Fuck them, bro. That's my father.
Okay, I would like to say welcome to everyone watching. Thank you for joining us on Science in Society. We've been away for a couple of months because of we on vacation. So we've been on vacation for a couple of months, and most of our co-hosts are adjusting to the schedule. We'd like to say sorry for that. But we're back again on our normal Tuesday and Friday edition of Science and Society. So mostly we would like to update people on what the show is actually about. We are science driven or institution science driven. This is a show that feature scientists and veteran scientists that have been making contribution towards Liberia, towards the war around the world, what kinds of contribution they making. And so we always hear on Tuesday and Friday, we always hear 7 o'clock Liberian time. Of course, this is a Liberian show. So we always be here on set time. And so our colleagues will join us. We have a couple of our friends who also join us to ask questions. Some of them are students of various universities around. So they're going to join us to also ask our guest question, and it's going to be an amazing show. And guys, today is very much one of the important day on the show because someone who hosting today is I mean an individual who have been our support system. If you just watch Facebook, most of our posts we doing, most of our broadcasts we doing, and he's always at the back giving us technical advices or technical support. On what we do. He's someone who having making significant impact into the scientific community in Liberia. We host Mr. Ansumana Jabate Random. Today he's going to be here. He's here. He's already here. Today he's going to be talking to us his experience as a scientist in Liberia, and not a Liberian because he's a Liberian, but as a scientist practicing in the U.S. and a Liberian for that matter, teaching one of the big schools in America, and he also going to be telling us some of the story from his childhood coming to now. And I know for me, I know this because he has a lot of legacy out there when it comes to producing young scientists, and also one of America best scientists around the world. So he going to be giving us some secrets on how he did this, how he made his journey. Talking about his Hunter College journey, and now his private life, and what some of the things he's doing with his initiative. Of course, his institution is one of our proud sponsor of the issue, the I Have Liberia project, the STEM project, and they also sponsoring the show. We are always here on Tuesday and Friday. They, I mean, give you all the support I said to you earlier. So, he's going to be telling us some of the things in doing Liberia, stay doing Liberia with a contribution towards science, towards health, towards medicine. And so we will. I will take a little break. Then probably I will come back maybe in a second. I will come back to give Mr. Randolph the chance to, uh, you know, little bit. He's going to be telling us, giving us a little bit introduction about himself, and before we can move into business on the show. So I want to encourage you to share the broadcast, to share the show. Of course, we've been away for a couple of time now, couple of weeks. So I'm so sorry, but please share the live, and it's gonna be a great show. So just stay away. Let me play this music. I know normally he love Fatu gives the music so much, so I'm gonna play this music again. Let me play this, and you're gonna enjoy.
Musulu, Ajija Balakuma. Musulu, Ajija Balakuma. Musulu, Ajija Balakuma. Musulu, Aijija Kalangoma. Ikana jusuli chamaka faisito kana wali makone wono kadima. Oh, you will. Ikana jusuli chamaka faisito kana fuma kana musulu. Oh, to Savannah. Musulu, alamiti yechafadi. Musulu, alamiti yechafadi. Musulu, ni makalanke. Musulu, ni makalanke. Ikana jusula jamaka paisita kala fluma kona waljika mima out to serve. Ikana hakrila jamaka paisita kala walma kona musulu koko te se bala ola musulu.
Okay, we are back. We are back, and I'm going to say to you, that I would like to say to you, we are here. We are back. So, before we can start the show, I would like to say, Mr. Randall, welcome. Welcome to welcome to Science and Society. This is your first time appearing. And so, as we move on, our friends will join us. Most of our friends that normally here, they're going to join us. So, if you are just watching again, you are watching Science and Society. We are always here on uh, Tuesday and Friday. So today we are hosting Mr. Asumana Jabate Randolph. He's a veteran scientist, a former professor or former instructor of Hunter College in the US in New York. And so he's going to be one time. I remember he's on record for always bringing back most of the students to Liberia to help librarian school in the sciences. And so I was even part of most of that training, these trainings. Most of the scientists in Liberia was also part of this training. And he's also on record for sponsoring a lot of medical students at the medical college through his I Have Library project. So he's gonna say that all that to the audience. I'm not gonna say everything for you, but Mr. Randall, thank you, welcome, and we'd like to get the opening statement from you, your opening introduction, and also then before we can move on.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. Uh, I would like to say thank you for inviting me and for me to present myself. I The best way to start this off is to say I am thankful to God that I was born in a village, and the village is in Nimba County. And growing up now, I realized that that village was a classroom, a science
Okay.
classroom. So I want for you to recognize that
Okay.
the village of Queen Nimbakan, like many villages in Liberia and around the world, is a classroom that teaches you always new things. And it is left with us to observe those things that are in the village. And hopefully, what you observe and learn from that village can guide you through in life. I have I have been lucky to meet some of the amazing people in the world, and some of just knowing them has been uh, the blessing that anyone can ask for. I have been, I was blessed to meet, I'm going to say this, to meet my beautiful wife in a college in North Carolina, a small college, which is a historical black college. And I met her in 1976. And since then, we are together. And she support me in most of the things I do. She support me with the IHEP project. And if I say I'm right now at this moment sitting in the car heading to the warehouse to drop some donation in the warehouse. And so I'm very grateful for that. But before getting to her, I was blessed to be adopted by one of the incredible women that ever
Okay.
lived in this world. And
Okay.
I learned a lot of things from this woman. Her name is Angie Brooks, and they call her finally, her marriage name is Angie Brooks Randolph. It's not
Okay.
that my parents were poor or my parents, my parents were good, but she is the one that brought me to America. She she was the first woman president, African woman president of the United Nations. The
Okay.
United Nations. She was the president of the United Nations. And she was also ambassador of Liberia to the United Nations. And I actually living with her at the Liberian embassy or the Liberian mission in New York. I saw firsthand some of the things that the world were talking about and arguing about and debating about. And this was actually the time of the heat of the Cold War. So we saw action of the Cold War, but on a daily basis, she was a teacher. Not only was
Okay.
she a diplomat, but she was a teacher. And one basic thing she taught me was the world, most especially Liberia, needs help. And that help is never going to stop. Humanity as a whole always need help. If you can't help, don't destroy it. If you can't help, don't destroy it. And there are several areas in which capable people should be able to help. And she always emphasized that.
Okay.
And I don't remember any other things she wanted to do in this world beside helping. She was even in education, she was in charge of the Lakere Mission School in Brazil.
Okay.
So with that backing, I she decided that I go and study, and it was study anything. And I told her I wanted to be a medical doctor. Let truth be told, I failed to be a medical doctor. I failed to be, you know, the medical doctor that I should have been. But in the process of failing, I learned something else. When you take the medical exam and you take the MCAT, you go through a series of interviews.
Okay.
And one of the questions, one of the many questions that they asked was, why why do you want to be a medical doctor? And my answer was always to help people. that was the answer
to
to
to help.
actually help to actually
Okay.
help people, you know. So and now you you are not a medical doctor. Okay, so what next? Well,
Okay.
so that is left with luck and the blessing of God. So I was blessed to meet and work with amazing students at Hunter College High School. And one of the things I learned, it has always been about learning for me. And even at this moment, it is not me trying to teach anyone. It is me as an individual trying to learn from you. And I have learned from the Professor Mohammed Kone, how
No.
aggressive and determined he is to make sure that science education in Liberia is highlighted. So I was blessed to be at a place that was very, very challenging. The students there were very, very aggressive. They always wanted to learn new things and they always wanted to teach you new things. And I was in the midst of that. And I actually appreciate those days at Hunter. But things developed. There's a war that broke up in Liberia that confused the whole thing. Then you have to figure out how you're going to try to help. First, our first approach was to make sure that BWI is back together, which we did. We helped BWI. Students decide to pick pencil from the street and from in the hallway, and we started to collect books and furniture, computers and things, and we massively send those things to Liberia. And you can never say in a Liberian equation that I own a property or I own a business in Liberia. You can never say that I use that influence to seek a political appointment or try to influence people to vote for me. It was all about what my mother Angie Brooks taught me, to always be ready to help humanity. Having said that, there are so many individuals that I can talk about that I continue to learn from. I will tell you there is
Yeah,
Professor,
that before
yes,
before you come in, before you can come into that, I want to ask you a question on the issue of this whole I Have Liberia. How did you come up with this name I Have Liberia? And then yes, well, how did you come up with
well,
this name? Because I didn't get that.
look, look at what happened. So if you look at my statement, so my mother taught me to help humanity. So, and then the I help Liberia is supposed to be, when we started, it's supposed to be the students and us debating over what kind of name, there need to be a name to give this so that there can be student publication about it. So the question was, okay, it is the international humanitarian help for Liberia.
Okay.
International humanitarian help for Liberia. But then we said, wait a minute, if anybody say I help Liberia, doesn't it look good that you did not do anything for Liberia, but you help Liberia? So we want to so therefore we emphasize that so that let's move the international and let it just be I help Liberia, okay?
Okay.
And it's supposed to be international humanitarian, help for Liberia. But so if you look at the I help, you find out that when you say we want to encourage people to say they help Liberia. Let us say the word, I help Liberia, and hopefully it will inspire them to help Liberia. Hopefully it will inspire them to do something for Liberia. That was the spirit behind that.
Okay.
And so, but the students, it was a student run organization. Okay. I was just a coach and a student to learn from those what they want to do. And they taught about so many good things. So many good things they thought about, you know, so many things they thought about that we have not yet been able to apply. Like one of the students, I will give you one example. One of the students there, where we need to have a laboratory van. In this laboratory van, all the equipment, the microscope and everything, and tables, folding tables will be in it, and we'll go to a village, and then we'll put the tables in the village, and then we'll do laboratory. That was a suggestion of one of the students, and I think that student was uh, Jonathan Saxmo or something like that. But so it was an institution where people were thinking about creative things. Okay, like for example, there needed to be constant a science board competition, science math competition in Liberia. So that's what we were interested in. So the mobile lab, which take us
Okay.
now to, I see that you guys have the innovator lab. So, and I said, wow, at least we didn't have the mobile lab, but we have the innovator lab, and a lot of good things can happen for Liberia if we continue to think. And if I help, if you help Liberia, a lot of good things can happen to Liberia. So,
Yeah.
and up to now, we have some people that are stay happy. One of them, two of them I want to mention, and is Dr. Adam Cohen, who is a tenured professor at Harvard,
Okay.
who can never turn his back on the AHIP project because I feel it is their legacy and they would like to see that legacy continue, but they don't want to be just like them. They don't want to be the one supporting it. They want for you, they want for the people of Liberia to learn to be I have Liberia. They want for the people of Liberia to be able to be innovative and creative, just like how Mohammed and the rest of you guys. And this is amusing and exciting and satisfying to me when I see the innovative lab and you guys trying to do things, you try it, and sometimes your guests you're slow down, and you continue, and that is how those students work. And Adam is doing great job, great research, Harvard, and you should read on him sometime, research on him.
Yeah,
But
I
but
think we have into action one point in time, Adam and myself, and we had changed email one point in time, and I mean he's a good professor doing well at Harvard, to be frank.
and this year actually he is gonna go back to teaching freshman chemistry. He wants to do he is an adventurer. So, but and he always have Liberia on his heart. But their thinking is we don't want to give Liberia. We still have time. Let they be innovative. Let us see how far they can take themselves. How far, yeah, and you guys are taking yourself farther. Now there's a streamline controlled by you guys, okay? That is run by you guys. The other guy that I want to talk about, my pride, I'm very proud of him. Look, you hear of a guy they call Elon Musk. They call
Okay,
him
yeah,
Elon Musk. He is this billionaire. He creates space. People go to space. He create all of these things. But he and Ben Rappaport, Dr. Ben Rappaport, who is a neurosurgeon, okay, and
okay.
a scientist, one of my best students, one of my mentees. So he he and Elon Musk are co-founder of a major scientific breakthrough.
Wow. So we're facing a little bit issue with Mr. Random. So folks, are we facing a little bit issue with Mr. Random? Hope that he's gonna come on. And
Hello?
Mr. Random, yeah, Mr. Random, you went off, but the camera is now. You have to address the camera a little bit because you are going outside of the camera, and then you're good. Okay, I
Okay,
think
am I in the
we can see,
camera?
yeah, we can see
Am
we
I
can
in
see
the
you clear.
camera now?
Yes, we
Okay.
can see better now. Yes.
Now,
So I
now,
think that was a technical issue, which is normal.
okay,
You know.
okay.
Yes.
So
Thank you so
the
much.
the so Dr. Ben Rappaport, you know, why I am very proud of him. So he and Elon Musk, the great scientists of the world now today, created another scientific breakthrough which they call Neuralink. So Neuralink is that where they make chips for the human brain to help those people that cannot connect their brain to the rest of their body. Okay?
Okay.
And so Dr. Rappaport was or is the co-founder of that Neuralink. So to be in that position, first you have to learn the basics of science. Process. He interacted with me at his early age, and I was with him when he was growing up to be the scientist he is. But Dr. Rappaport, what amazed me is that he is not tired. He doesn't rest. He wants to contribute to humanity. He wants to contribute to science. So, and he always also think about Liberia, and he pays his due to see that some Liberian students can get maybe few dollars monthly to medical student in Liberia so they can be able to go to school.
Yeah, that we're going to come to that, but I wanted to ask a question about something really, really I want to give maybe the public want to understand with the issue of like I mean normally I was seeing students coming every time to Liberia every summer
Well,
vacation to
like
come to
I want
Liberia.
to finish. I want to finish with Dr. Rappaport.
Okay,
So
so
Dr.
that
Rappaport now,
okay,
Dr. Rappaport now has created, in addition to be a co-founder of that Neuralink, he is now a co-founder of another project, and which is called Precision
okay,
Neuroscience. And they are doing amazing tests and amazing work out there. And this take us to the point that, wait a minute, this is all we want for Liberia, so Liberian students can be prepared to do this good stuff. Okay? And this is why we took this is why we took this is why this is why we took Liberians to these students to Liberia. And with that, I'm at the warehouse and somebody want for me to get out of the way, guys.
oh okay,
But
yes,
so, no, no, no,
yes,
no, no. I'm still on. But this is why we wanted for students to be able to go to Liberia, so Liberian students can see that our counterpart who are also students of their own age
okay,
are interested in science, and the teachers in Liberia can see that there are people there that want to do science also, just like them. And so I am very, very honored to say that the process of learning science in Liberia continues. And I'm so happy that Dr. Nya is in Liberia to continue that process, you know. So that is almost the where we are right now that Liberia needs. And then you're going to ask me a question, why? The answer for that question lies in two things. One major one is, which I always tell Adam and Ben, the best scientists that I know in this world, Kim, that I know, I'm not talking about anyone else, that I
okay.
know came from Liberia. The best scientists came from Liberia.
Now, is it because is it your own theory or you say it like you believe in Liberian? Is it that you believe in Liberian that Liberian can do certain things that other people out there can do?
Liberian scientists and technicians, engineers are the best that I know. Let me take you to something that is that everybody now use in the world.
Okay.
They call a scooter. Where people get on it, and in America, everybody getting on it and they're wheeling down the hill. And then there used to be what it used to be a three-wheeler where there's three wheels, and then the kids use it and they step on it and they roll down. My first, and I'm 68 years old. I use that kind of invention by 67 years ago, and I use it in Liberia. And today, it is a $1 billion market in America or in the world for that matter.
Sure.
So, but that was created in Liberia by
Local.
Liberians.
Locally.
It was built by the local people for
Okay.
their children to learn how to walk.
Wow.
Okay?
Yes. Yes. I got that. Like playing like stuff, and then you get the
Yes,
job behind it pushing.
they're pushing it. Okay? And that's what they are using now in America. Every every child in America is using that. And you
Wow.
go in the store, you are paying at least $500 for it. Okay? So am I wrong to say some of the engineers in those days and even now where our thinking were the best? Let me take you to another stand here. If one of the things that you guys need to investigate as scientists, there used to be some member of our community used to be accused of eating charcoal. We used to even call them charcoal eater.
Okay.
And and sorry for saying it, but we used to say the Kwan people eat charcoal. But did anybody reason up why they ate it? And I walk into the pharmacy here, and charcoal is a consumable product. So you will actually buy it off the counter in the pharmacy. So this the guys or the people that were eating that charcoal, they were not wrong anyway. They were eating it for the reason. Let me take you to another place. Long, long time ago, when grandma, when you say to grandma, my stomach is hurting. Oh, my stomach is hurting. Grandma go and put all kind of leaves together. Grind it. Do not cook it though. Grind it and put and make you drink it. Now in America, there every store you go, there must be a smoothie that they make. And they are making those smoothie out of those fresh plant leaves. Do you know that I have seen a store that actually grass smoothie are made? And we saw our people doing those things. So in their own right, They were scientists in the how about the bones? Somebody with a broken bones, and they take leaves, put it in a fire, and put it around our bone on a daily basis. And you as scientists, that those leaves are made out of chemicals. And through those leaves and their massaging of the bone and the leg, that bone will put together perfectly. So why shouldn't I say, or shouldn't I impress on our young people to turn back and look at what our great scientists did? I will tell you another thing that most people don't even pay attention to. Our people were the first to start addressing the climate issue in my living day. The climate issue was addressed by our people. Okay? So, and how did they do that? So, in an area where there was the root of the water, where the water come from, basically that's where the devil bush and the poorer society bush used to be, and it was protected. And they would tell you the heart of this town is based on that portion of the the bush. And if you destroy, if you cut that, even you can go and make your farm, but that portion they did not want for you to touch it. And because that's where the water was coming from, that's where the water was feeling the poise of the water of the lake. That's where it was coming from. And they were preventing you, even though we saw it as voodoo or spiritual, something like that. But scientifically, they were right. And we did not want to listen to them. Then you go in some of those villages today, because of our ego, we have destroyed those trees so that we can build our dream houses, and then the water in those places have gone dry. In as much as we get rain, in those days there was always water. If there was summertime, the water did not go dry like it is happening now today. It was because the part of that forest the people preserve it. It was preserved land. It was devil land, or it was the poorer society bush. So can I say then they are scientists? Okay, if people that talk about climate change, preventing climate disaster are scientists, cannot can I not say that the best scientists that I know were those people? Okay, let me give you another scientific invention
Okay.
that you young folks need to know about. And what you need to do is to think about it. Think about it. Just and that's why I tell people like Adam, like Ben, just think about it. Okay, you have the idea. Just it's a great idea, but just think about it. Just enjoy thinking about it. Just appreciate thinking about it. Okay, that's what make you a scientist. That's why when those people come from in that society bush and in that poorer bush, they are happy because they have been thinking how to save humanity. Okay, they have been thinking how to do that. I will give you this last one here, and you think about it.
Before I can come in with, because I have a couple of
Oh
questions
yeah,
to ask. Yeah, yeah, I have.
you should ask me question, but let me give you this last one for me to go. From my point of view, from my own statement that I'm gonna make right now, and I strongly believe in it. Do you know where the bulletproof vest that everyone in the world are using? Do you know where I thought I saw it being created? It was created in Liberia from my own point of view, from my own physical thing. It's a wow, how can this boy who's supposed to be educated think like that? That Liberia have all of these things. So the guy, the president of Liberia or the senator or whatever decide that he is going to be protected from the bullet of a gun. And in those days, the gun were not actually powerful. So he goes to this witch doctor and he said to the witch doctor, they said you can produce some kind of cloth for me, and it will stop the gun from going through my body. He agreed. He said, "Well, go bring a shirt that have no arm, but it's split on the side. Go bring that, and it's a country cloth. Go bring it, and then I will fix it for you." So the guy bring his country club. I think they call it country. They have a name for it. He bring it. So
Yes,
when he
okay.
bring it, he say, "Well, give me 1 month, and you come back, your clothes will be ready." So in that 1 month, what do you think that guy did with that? He goes in Manimba. He goes in all the other mound that is closer to him. He goes there and he soak that vest in the iron dust. The mound have these iron dust that
Yeah,
go.
this iron does. Okay.
Yeah, he goes and soak it in it. So when he soak that thing in it, it remains in it. Then when you come back, he gave you instruction. He said you can wear this, oh, don't sleep with no woman, oh. Why on you don't sleep with no woman? And why you're not supposed to wash it with soap? You're not supposed to wash it at all. So the clothes has iron in it, iron product in it. If you wash it with soap, if you wash it with acid, the iron is going to break down and it's gonna
Wow.
be it's gonna it's gonna break down. And because also he doesn't want for you to sweat in it, your sweat is out of chemicals that is gonna
Yeah.
degrade it. Don't have sex. Okay? The arm is open. Think about it. So the guy bring the thing and he, of course, let's study how the bulletproof vests are made of. here now in this age. Think about it and compare it to that verse. Okay,
Wow.
you
Okay.
gotta think about it. So
Sure.
the way you can experiment with that, take a piece of cloth and handkerchief. Take a piece of cloth and handkerchief and burn candle and burn candle juice. You know the candle you can light to light in the house. Just burn it over a piece of cloth and attempt to make sure that water go through it. Water will not go through it. Water will not go through it because the candle have soaked into the cloth. You know, so there are so many things that we need to be thinking about. Okay, and so that if we are scientific minded, we can even help the Liberian government when they're making a distinction as to the MOU signed by they and China. Then you have to ask yourself, how will that benefit? It will benefit us with some money, but is it going to do other damages on the scientific level? Is it going to do anything? Oh, they're going to build some beautiful houses. And you understand?
Yes.
So it's we gotta think scientifically. We gotta get a whole bunch of us, even the medication that come into the country. We gotta contribute to the world scientific. We gotta contribute. We can't just be receiving at the receiving end. So I will stop
So
right there.
yeah, Mr. Randolph, before I can ask my question, for the folks that are watching, if you are just tuning in, would like to say you watching Science in Society. This program is sponsored by the I Have Library STEM project and the Librarian Daily Dose. Uh, we hosting, of course, the one of the founder of the I Have Library project. They have so many founders. They, of course, he gets narrated that a lot of students funded this group. And I mean, I can make this as a maybe probably it could be a confession or whatsoever way you want to call it. But I was also sponsored by this project when I was in college at undergraduate, and so I got funding from this project, and Mr. Randolph and the I Have Library project were always instrumental in providing me staffing for my schooling, and it's something that I always recall it in my diary book to remember in the future to come. And I know the only thing that come with that is giving back to Liberia, to be able to give back to Liberia, rebuilding process of this science or STEM science, technology, and mathematics sector. So I will ask a couple of questions to that to Mr. Rano before we can call it a day. And this one of my questions has to do with the issue of I mean, I normally when I was with the team, I normally used to see students coming from the US. Those students were like, I mean, energetic, not facing the kind of problem to say, okay, uh, excuse me, this man is just forcing us to go to his country to do whatsoever, but they were doing this with passion. What are some of the secrets you're using and you are still using to talk to your student? Because no matter what happens, students can be sometimes be ungrateful to you, and students sometimes they won't appreciate you even if you taught them. They will say, okay, I'm living my private life. Some of them will say, I'm now out of high school, I'm now out of school, and I mean, I'm just gonna get some money, give to my teacher, professor. But to go as far as helping, I mean, the less of Mr. Dr. Adam Cohen, Dr. Benjamin Rapopo, or the mathematician that I just hosted, or what's the name of that, and they've been going back. He narrated the other day a lot of story about Liberia, and I mean, what are some of the secrets you've been using to bring these students back to Liberia?
They every even in Liberia, there are people in Liberia that are passionate about helping, and we just got to give them the room for them to express their passion. And if they meet somebody who is also passionate about what they want to do for humanity, it is easy. So, in the case of Dr. Obers,
Yeah,
he who is a
Obas,
mathematician,
mathematician. Yes, Dr. Obas.
uh, he he just want to give back to Liberia. He thinks that Liberia gave him something, and that something appears to be me. And and how is that possible? It is possible. Sit down in the room and talk to him, answer his question, and then probably ask him some question too. Probably challenge him. People are not ungrateful. We just got to take our chance to accept in our life those that are grateful and those that have the same passion like yours. So, in the case of Dr. Others, Heidi, and you find out that they they are just regular students like you. They were regular students like you, but deep down they just want to be able to help humanity. Yes, there are some students that can come and get what they want. They want it on their profile that they went to Liberia and they want to move on. But I have been lucky and blessed that these students always think about Liberia. They enjoy the idea that they enjoy the fact that Liberians are eager to learn. And most people don't know that. Most people don't know that Liberians are eager to learn. Most people would think that Liberians would be abusing the opportunity they have. No, no. But we have a lot of Liberians eager to learn. And we
Um,
need to just capitalize on it. And they appreciate that. They appreciate the fact that Liberians are eager to learn. And also, they are also learning from you. You know, if they were not learning from you, they would be on their way going. I am learning from you. If I was not learning from you, I would say, nah, this is not good for me. But it is all about learning, and learning does not end until you are dead. You
uh,
continue to learn.
so, and I another part of the question is because if I just remember from your explanation, most of the issue of sponsoring of the medical student, and I wasn't doing the Ebola outbreak is something that really touched me as an individual and someone who has love for Liberia. Uh, how did you rapidly raise the kind of money of that thing was 30,000 US in
Well,
some assorted
in in in
equipments?
in the first place, we here's what happened. We have Dr. Hart was like our heart. We we Dr. Hart was somebody, and we figure, wait a minute, we have to figure out a way to protect him.
Okay.
For it to continue, we got to protect a way to protect him. So again, you go back again and you go back on the drawing table. You say, guys, you have to ask that question. What do we do? What do we do? So, and then everybody started looking around and see what they can do. And then the assorted material started coming in. And Liberian people, I don't know if they even know about it, but it was not meant for publicity. It was meant to make sure that Dr. Hart is protected. Wherever he was working at that moment is was our concern. We couldn't help the whole of Liberia, but we wanted to start with Dr. Hart. Medical doctors were running away and all of that. And we said, no, we don't want for Dr. Hart to run away. And the best way to do that was to tell him, we are not there. We will not be able to be there, but we're going to give you some of the material needed to help you up so that you can stay to help Liberia people. Okay? And
Okay.
Adam, Ben, and other people, you know, put together in a short period of time $30,000 and the material were in Liberia. And again, we go back to the same thing. When you do those things, do not open a business. Do not open a pharmacy. Do that,
Pharmacy.
do not do that because it's meant for the people. So Dr. Hart did a very good job, and I appreciate what he continued to do. And I appreciate what Dr. Mahmoud, we, Adam and myself were just talking about Dr. Mahmoud on Sunday.
Okay.
How we appreciate what he's doing. Dr. Mahmoud is doing some great work in Liberia. He continued to be an advocate,
Okay.
and all of these things make me proud. Something that I was not smart enough to be, that's what he's doing. So if I'm not smart to be a medical doctor, can I help somebody to be a medical doctor? That's where
And,
we are.
and so that's why you I mean I'm seeing a lot of medical students. I have Liberia project is sponsoring at the medical school, and I
Yes,
mean
yes.
that's all.
We have a lot of them that came to Liberia are medical doctors, and hopefully in the future we are, like we said recently, we're gonna stop the sponsorship of the medical student. We're gonna stop it and then evaluate it, look at it, and then see what we can do. So after the last student graduate, then we're gonna be able to evaluate it. We like what is happening with the math program. We have 66 teachers register for the math. You know, for Andrew, Dr. Albert's math program. So 66 Liberian math teachers in a program. Okay, that is
So
something that is good.
there's yeah, so
And
that
and you know who make me really really proud is um the guy Cliff Clifton that went
Clin-
to
Clinton,
yeah,
the
Clinton
first.
that went to South Africa, and we are very very proud of him. And we sometimes I want to joke with him and I tell him he's a lazy mathematician, and because I want for him to work harder than he can work, but he is extremely hardworking and he means well for Latin. Okay,
Yeah, so
he doesn't want to
Cl-
be anything but a mathematician for Liberia. You
yeah,
know.
so Clinton and myself, we've been working. He also been part of our team behind the scene, The issue of internet issue in Liberia is crazy. Very is an issue. So
Well, that's
most of it.
that's why you guys need to talk to the. I don't know who can help, but they should know that the internet situation in Liberia is a human rights situation. It make us reach the rest of the world. It make us communicate with the rest of the world. It make us get what the rest of the world is doing. And we want for the rest of the world to know what we are doing in Liberia. And look at Clinton, a great mathematician. A lot of people don't know about him. Okay?
Yes.
So, and that is sad that we have not invested in that institution they call the internet. Okay? They need to invest in that area. And the 66 teachers should have allowances. Okay? They should have monthly allowances for internet uses so that they don't only sit in the class, but they can do research in math to challenge Dr.
Okay.
Orbit. Okay? That's that. If I was in the field of education and in Liberia, I will actually make sure that internet is free for those 66 teachers because they voluntarily participate to improve themselves. Okay? That means the teachers from Ganta can go to the vice president or the teacher from Nimba, there are about 17 or 18 of them, can go to the vice president and get sponsorship. And the sponsorship will allow them to use the internet to do research in the field of science and math or in any field for that purpose. What make it strong is if you can continue to do research. Okay? Your eyes, Dr. Nya. Nya. Dr. Nya is there. He will tell you research, 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 research. It's a continual research, continual reading, continual thinking what your counterparts are doing. Creation, innovation, you know, and then sharing your ideas and allowing your ideas to be critiqued, to be criticized by the rest of the world. Then you go back to the drawing table. That's what I tell my students. That's what I would tell Ben Rappaport. That's what I would tell Adam. Allow yourself to be criticized
Okay.
and take it
So
as an honor that you were criticized, that your work was criticized. Your work was criticized because somebody found interest in it to read it in the first place. Somebody found interest in it to
ju-
read it, you know.
okay, Dan. So I will ask you like two questions, and then you just do your party statement. I know you are a veteran. We can keep you long here, and every time you come with a lot of wisdom. So, it's actually two questions, but I will ask the first question. Maybe you answer, then the last I can ask. And the first question has to do with all of the experiences you have, which is actually one of the main purpose of the show. Um, do you have anything in mind of providing any form of consult. We know that science education is way back in Liberia, and people we need people like you. You've been a veteran. You've been from the U.S., one of the best school in the U.S. And coming back to Liberia, the Liberian education system is not improved yet. Talking about the issue of sciences laboratory for students to study. Uh, Even though you've been providing this help before, but with the issue of with the issue of new phases in government, I don't know. This is all politics, but will you accept or offer from government if government was to
No,
ask you to if government was to ask you for consultancy or something?
no, 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 no.
You
Let's put it this way.
okay?
One thing I realized, there are lot of Liberians
Okay,
that are so smart. Lot of Liberians sitting out there, so smart, so brilliant. I met a young man who just got his PhD from MIT. They call him Mohammed Toure.
okay,
Very smart fellow. And what is also needed is helping hand for all of these smart people and inspiration for all of these smart people. Like, it gave me time to read what Mohammed Kone is doing and then come back and say, Mohammed, this is not, can we do it this way? In the case of working with government, it occupies a narrow space of your life. And you become, you worry about being criticized by the rest of the world. You worry about being put in the political arena. But in this case, I have come today and I have given you my view. Okay?
okay,
And I hope somebody will learn from that. We support people like Maha Sanjay.
okay,
Maha Sanjay is the coordinator of the STEM program at MOE.
MOE, okay,
We give her support. You know, on many occasions, we have sponsored her to come to several conferences in America. Okay, and in fact, with this year, we are now sponsoring her. We are hoping that the Liberian government will find need to sponsor her to come to the conference. The Liberian government should see that there is a conference that is being held right at the same time the United Nations conference is here. They don't know that last year Sanjay then took part in that. Okay,
okay,
and I will hope that they will bring a group of them to take part in it. But so uh, secondly, I love my wife, and I cannot. My wife is not well,
okay,
and I cannot stay away from her. And so I prefer staying by her. I I too I like to be a critic of Joe Barker. That all of us cannot be a supporter of Joe Barker, and we hope that he will do well for the country. But at the same time, any government that come there, we choose we choose to criticize. We choose to look at those things that are not working. You know, we politically, yes, I don't like, I don't know anything about the MOE from China, I think there are some shortcomings in those areas. you know
Okay.
so things like those, but and then I have to be somewhere to sit down and then say no. You're not, and even though I don't have a PhD, I don't have a MD, but I can think,
Okay.
and then to support people like you, okay, like to support people like Dr. Nyane. Hey man, we need to create a lot of funding for what Nya could do in that country, okay, because he been in the field. He know what research is. He know what national health issue is. So let's go and start supporting him. We shouldn't wait until there is another crisis, health crisis, before we started looking to give him a helping hand. We shouldn't do that. You know, it is time for us to be questioning Dr. Nya and say, Nya, what can we do? You know, how can we help? And so and hopefully the iHelp project, Dr. Hart and Dr. Mahmoud, they can all sit down and have a discussion with Dr. Nyan. And then we lost one of our reporters. We
Yes.
sponsored
Okay.
that. Yeah, we sponsored GNN Liberia for years. And
Yes,
so
I think I remember I was even featured in one of their papers
yeah, so
about my
we lost
story.
him, but things like that we did, and so we did some things, and hopefully there are a lot of people that can do some great things. There are a lot of people that can do some great things in Liberia, and they are there, and we can use them. And if I said I saw that after Boakai got elected, we saw a lot of educated PhD came out, you know. So things like that. We Liberia is part of our heart and mind, and we cannot let it go. We will continue to help Liberia. We will continue to work the street of New York and find the small pieces of things from schools, and we will be able to send it to them. And so Liberia is
Yeah.
good.
Thank you so much for, for that answer. And maybe this is my last question. Then you're gonna do your party statement, your message to Liberia. But my the last question has to do with the issue of we normally ask this question as a closing. Uh, we all talking about STEM education, science, and tech. What is the way forward for Liberia? Do you think is it necessary for Liberia to have a Ministry of Science and Technology that will control everything about science, even though we have Ministry of Education? But do you think, as a scientist, MOE is overburdening? They need ministry that is separated from, particularly like you get Madam Sange is also heading the coordinating the same activity. Do you need a special work environment for her that she want to be able to bring in more program, something like that?
I have never in the US they have education department,
Okay.
and in New York City you have the Department of Education, and under that you have uh, science education.
Okay.
If you started creating more departments, then you talk about unnecessary space and necessary movement. So, in the case of the Department of Education, the MOE in Liberia, if you were to create a Department of Science Education that is now controlled by the MOE, that's not the way to go. The MOE need to continue to control the STEM education, but with a coordinator of that department. Okay, that's the way I would see it. And the other way, you gave too many headache to the president.
Okay.
Okay, whereas the president would have been only focusing on the MOE, but now if you create a STEM, a Ministry of STEM Education, then the president have that to deal with. But in this case,
Okay.
the Ministry of Education will deal with the STEM department, and you leave it like that. And but that's how I think it should work. It should go like that. uh you, like, for example, you're gonna hear that China Finney giving a new building somewhere way up there, and then the resources not there, the electricity, the bill, and all of that. But the MOE can have the group get together of different department, and they can talk about things, you know. But I'm not in favor of Ministry of STEM Education. No. Uh,
Thank you so much, Dad. So can we get or maybe probably a party statement from you
yeah. Well,
and your
if
message, your last message to Liberia, you know,
look,
and
Liberia is Liberia is a home that we cannot detach from. You will never, if you are born in Liberia, you live in Liberia, even if your parents were born in Liberia, you cannot detach yourself from Liberia, no matter how bad it is. Liberia will always be your home. If it is so, you always have to find means to take care of that home.
okay,
You always have to find ways in which you take care of it. And all of those ways cannot be the same. Even in your own household, everybody living in that one tax house does not think alike. Even if you give them goat to skin, everybody will be thinking about starting the skinning from somewhere else. So Liberia is our home. We need to criticize each other. We need to support each other. And we need to share our innovation and our creation with each other. If we don't share it, it is meaningless. We need to do that. We don't need to uh, uh, create other high school just to impress the world that I have a high school in my name. Let's take care of St. Teresa Convent. Let's take care of Breaks. Let's take care of B.W. Harris. Let's take care of the MCS school system. We have enough to take care of, but to jump up and create another institution just to show that you are contributing. If you want to contribute to those institutions that like Kerry, like, you know, contribute to them. They need help. You know, we should not let them go disappear. We should not let them disappear. You know, BWI. You know, there are places that we got to do that. We got to stop this creation of taking space and creating your dream institution. Those are our dream institution. Okay, you have Tomaha, you have uh, the AME University. You know, we let's create and sustain those, and Liberia will be better if we stop this dream creation of dream school and doing that. Support. I'm asking our Liberian people to support those institutions that gave us our life today. I cannot see myself creating a high school away from the high school that I went to. Then the strange thing is people go create high school next door to the high school that I used to go to. You know, it doesn't make sense. You know, St. Teresa Convent should not go to drain. St. Francis should not go to drain. St. Mary's should not go to drain. You know, St. Chris Central High. There are so many good institutions that we need to go back to the drawing table to try to help them. You know, so I thank those that continue to make STEM education better. You know, there are some good people out there that are helping. I'm asking legislature to give some money towards STEM education. Give it to the Ministry of Education. You know, give some money, get some money, and send people out like Sanjay to go and preach. And they are doing some good work at it. May God bless our motherland. May God bless all of those that continue to give some help. And may you young folks continue to think about the scientific work that our parents did, the scientific work that they did. They did some great work. Okay?
Okay.
Look at the fishing net, you know, it's a creation. The other people use fishing net, you know. So we got a lot of work to do. We got a lot of work to do, but we have to compete with the rest of the world. We have to share with the rest of the world that we know. And right now, I like what I like in Liberia is Dr. Nyaya. We need to take advantage of his presence. We need to take advantage of his presence. So take care, be good, and I hope that my conversation with you was good enough for us to move forward.
Thank you so much, Dad. Thank you for, coming on always, even though the visit was very much, the invitation was jamming, but you use your time. That's the reason I'm being conscious of the time. So thank you so much. And it was nice having you folks. If you just watching, his name is Mr. Ansumana Chavate Randall. He's a veteran science instructor. Uh,
What is a veteran?
you a veteran is, all in a business. You all in a
You oh
business of,
oh okay.
yeah, yeah. And you actually doing well. Having students back, going back to Liberia is something that actually inspire a lot of us. In terms of can you'll be like a father in the scientific community in Liberia, because one way or other you are teaching everyone the legs of Dr. Hart, producing one of the only cardiovascular surgeon, who we're going to host him because he recently was elected as president of the Salvation Army Polytechnic, and we try our best to see how well we can be able to invite him, and being also
Okay, look at the case of Dr. Hart. He is Liberia is not doesn't have the instrument and the material to accommodate Dr. Hart. It's hard. It's hard. So we have a lot of work to do. But making him visible, he working along with Dr. Yan, Dr. Nya, and we will be able to see something. I, they have Liberia at heart. Dr. Nya took away and leave all of the attractive thing to go and sit in Liberia. It's a big thing. And Jonathan have good heart for Liberia.
yes,
So
sure.
we hope that he work at the foundation in university will be good, and we hope that STEM education there also will be strong. You know that will get some good teachers out of there. So we are doing good.
Thank
Okay.
you so much. Thank you so much, Dad. It was actually nice having you, and I hope that I will give you a course on this week. So
Okay.
thank you.
Take care. And where are you now? You gone back?
Yes, I'm back. I came back on Friday, Friday of this week. I got in, and yeah, thank you for the support. Thank you for always checking on me. But it was
Uh,
good.
how how is Clinton?
Clinton is good. Clinton is in South Africa currently, and so we planning also to have him on a platform. Just that he will be constantly with us. Sometime probably into be able to share his own knowledge about why he think things should be back home, just so we can keep his company as he do his study. So,
Uh,
but he's good. We talked recently, and I'm reaching to. I'm going to reach out to him this week again to see how he coping with the new environment.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow. This platform here, how did you create this platform?
it's good. It's I mean, this is actually from StreamYard, and we stream it from Facebook. We stream on YouTube also. So it's a documentary that you can also go on YouTube to download. We also
Wow.
stream it on, yeah, on Facebook. So you maybe people who didn't watch this show, they're gonna come back to also watch tomorrow or anytime. And at the same time, we we are also, it's paid for, but it's good because we're doing this for Liberian people, for the Liberian people, and
Yeah.
we'll be here every time.
We we okay. That's good. And I hopefully you will host Dr. Cohen soon. Okay.
I will be so happy to have him, Dr. Cohen and Dr. Rapopo, even Dr. Cohen. I'll be so because Dr. Obas I can get to him anytime now. The
No,
two of us.
we will get Dr. Cohen and Dr. Rappaport to talk to you guys and about, you know, yeah. So just give me time, and then I
Okay.
will I will set it up for you. Okay?
Okay. Thank you so much, Dad. Thank you. It was actually nice having you. Yes. Not a dull
Uh-huh.
moment with you.
Okay. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Thank you. Wow, folks. Yeah. I mean, we have on Mr. Asumana Javate Randolph. I normally say there's actually not a dull moment with him always. He's always in support of science education back in Liberia. And so it was actually a good show, good discussion. And so we will be here again on Friday, we're going to be here to bring you another edition of Science in Society. And just so you know, before we can be here to leave, we also planning of having more like a webinar here, maybe sometime this week or next week, or for people who also are looking for scholarship in the sciences. So we're also going to be bringing some minds that some science students who are also of Liberia who want some scholarship like me to give their own idea on how to apply for scholarships. And so we're fighting to do that also. But on Friday, until then, Friday will be here to give you I will tell you the guests on Friday. Friday we will also bring new guests on like Mr. Randolph. And to be frank, science is something that we all should create interest in. Like he said, he been doing amazing work in the scientific community. Just imagine someone, I mean, giving a service back to American government and his former students using his former students to give back to the library. He could have used some of these benefit for himself, but sometimes he's using them to donate medical item, pay medical students school fees. This is something that is commendable. We should also appreciate him for. And he's always almost like a hero. There are a whole lot of story behind him. He's actually someone who want to see Liberia science education improve. And so until then, I want to say again to you, we'll be here on Friday. We'll be we also planning a webinar, a science webinar. This science webinar will be like for scholarship, science webinar for scholarship. So telling people how to apply for this scholarship and giving people a kind of education. I remember when I went to Liberia these 3 days, I had a conversation with a lot of youth, a lot of young people who want a scholarship to study. And we have people are getting some things amazing. And at the end of the day, when they travel outside of Liberia, they get confused. They are being fooled by people. Sometimes people say to them this is fully funded scholarship, and when they go, it is not actually fully funded. So we're gonna be displaying some of those opportunities, giving the advantage and disadvantage if you accept it. What are some of the things you're gonna encounter if you go to the particular country, and telling you how you can apply. It will be a continual process. I'm trying to find a week where we can be able to, and also some colleagues to come on so that they can be able to share their idea and discuss, and as and you too can be able to ask questions on some of these things. And so thank you so much. I will play our theme song and then we can be able to call it a day. It was actually nice, and those of you who watching join us every Tuesday and Friday. I'm always here. Most of my colleagues who are always here also didn't join because of some busy schedule, but we are always here on Tuesday and Friday on Science and Society. This show is actually meant to bring you people who are making significant impact into science, and so that we can they can be able to tell their story on how they did these certain things. And I mean, so like Mr. Randolph, same as Dr. Yang, Dr. Dubé Grace Yang was here some part of 2 3 months ago before his nomination, and he was here giving his story, giving his thought about science, scientific issue. And so then we also want to leave this up for you. um, Quite recently, we saw the report from the National Public Health Institute of Liberia. They released, and we have now been able to come on here to tell you some of the output of our own scientific idea about this, and we want to inform the public and even students that are watching to say to you that more especially to of you in Liberia, you have to follow the National uh, Public Health Institute along of Liberia, along with the Ministry of Education, rule guide safety measures. Currently, they are doing preventive safety and preventive measure across the country against the monkeypox virus. The WHO, just so you know, the WHO had declared monkeypox virus as a global threat, and so it's no different from other viruses, very much bad. And so we have to forget about the fear, prevent ourselves, and stay safe. And this is something that we have some few cases in Liberia, I think 2 or 5 cases now. And so when you feel similar symptoms, you have to report yourself to the hospital so that we can get it going all hand so that you also can be protected and be safe. Thank you so much. Thank you for listening to us. And that was my own purchasing statement towards the National Public Health Institute of Liberia. And we will keep giving our own advice and towards this kind of initiative. Thank you so much. And I'm going to leave you with this. Thank you.